Hey everyone, it's Brandon from Top10Gamer.com, and I know it's been a few weeks that I haven't been with you here. I went on a cruise for my anniversary with my wife, went and swam with some sea turtles, went all the way to Cozumel, Mexico, and that was a great experience. I really needed some rest and relaxation. I don't know if you guys ever get to the point where you're just completely burnt out, but the channel continues to grow, and just in thinking about the channel and thinking about everything going on, I lost a little bit of motivation there, but you know what? I'm back and I feel better than ever. I think part of the loss of that motivation was the new camera. I do everything myself here. I don't have a camera guy or anything like that, so it can take quite a bit of time to make a video. And adding in that new camera just made it seem like it took 3-4 times as long as it did before. And I'm fine doing that when I'm doing product reviews, but hopefully you guys, when I'm just sitting in front of you and we're talking about PC builds and my For the Money series, this is okay with you. But I want to jump right into this video. We're going to talk about, we're going to go back to the PC and console debate now that we're halfway through 2014. And we're also going to take a look at a budget $500 PC build and kind of talk about how it compares to something like a console. Okay, so first the PC build. For processor options, really I think your choice here, your best option is the FX 8320 or the FX 6300. If you want an Intel option, probably go with the 4130. That's a dual core option, but still is a pretty darn good option. For me, for the money, I'm going to try to go the FX 8320 here, but what's going to give you the most performance in games is actually the FX 6300 because you're going to be able to put more money to your graphics cards. Now, speaking of graphics cards, you've got 4 options here. Now, if you choose the higher end CPU and you want to stick to the budget in the FX 8320, then you're going to go with something like the GTX 750 or the R7260X. The R7260X is going to give you slightly more performance, whereas the NVIDIA card will give you G-Sync compatibility and output a lot less power. Now, if you go with the FX 6300 or the i3-4130, again, I'm going to recommend the FX 6300 here, then graphics card options for you are the R7265, fantastic card for the money there, or the GTX 750 Ti. Similarly, with the other graphics cards that I mentioned, you're going to want to go with the NVIDIA card if you're looking for G-Sync compatibility, and go with the AMD card if you're looking for a little bit more performance for the money. You can check out the description below, like always, for any research I've done, benchmarks, things like that. So be sure to look there if you're curious about a particular game like a Battlefield 4 or whatever you plan on playing. Okay, so for memory, you go with, in my opinion, you go with the Kingston HyperX or G.Skill Ripjaw series. I've seen a few different models available for under 80 bucks, so go with that. This build shouldn't use any more than 365 watts at max, so I'd recommend probably around 500 watts. Be sure to get something that's 80 plus certified. This month, the CX500M is super cheap on Newegg. So go there. I think they've got like a $15 rebate and a $20 gift card or vice versa or something like that, which makes it around like 35 bucks. So, you know what? If you can get a 500 watt power supply that's from a good manufacturer, good brand for that amount of money, go with it. But you know what? There's something like that available every month. So if you're not seeing this in May, you're in a different month, you're June, July, August, whatever, then just find a power supply that's inexpensive and has a lot of rebates going on. Okay, for storage options, I recommend the Western Digital Caviar Blue, either the 500 gigabyte or 1 terabyte option. I think the 1 terabyte option is only like $7 more, so you probably want to stretch just a little bit here. For cases, Rosewill has a really nice case in the U3 on Newegg this month. It's super cheap. I think it's like $39.99. You know, normally like a $50, $60 case, so good deal there. That's the Challenger U3, the actual older version, the regular Challenger that wasn't the U3. It's actually more money this month. So, you know what? Always go with the newer, better item there. Motherboard, go with the Asus M5A78L-M/USB 3. Great motherboard on rebate this month. You can get it for as low as 50 bucks, but it'll still give you some options in terms of overclocking. Now, that's the build itself, and people always ask me, hey, why don't you include the OS in your build? And the reason is because I'm always able to get them like pretty cheap, because I can find like a Windows 7 OS. I've got a few around the house from older computers and stuff that I don't mind taking the key from and using it on my newer computer. Obviously, if you go out and you want to get Windows 8 and it's going to be a new version, You have no student discounts, no nothing. It's going to cost you $100, and that's something that you're going to have to pay. I don't advocate like ripping off the OS or whatever, but you know what? If you want to go find somebody that's got a used computer that has, you know, that's failed or whatever, then why not reuse something like a Windows 7 key? You know, it's certainly your option to do so. It won't give you Windows 8, but a lot of people like 7 just as well anyway. Anyway, that's why I don't include the OS. I thought I'd straighten that out because I've had that question a lot of different times. But again, that's what your OS is going to be. That's completely up to you. Okay, so let's compare this to the console. Performance-wise, it's not close. Those of you who say that the console performance is close to this, you just don't know really what you're talking about. The graphics card and the processor are better in this instance. But let's talk about a few of the benefits that the console has versus the PC, a few intangibles that make it still viable. And while many people said, hey, this could be the last generation for consoles because tablets are really going to take over or other options, I really think you're wrong because of some of these intangibles that the console offers. Okay, so one big one is exclusive games. You know, if you have a favorite game and you have to play that game and it only comes on one console, then you kind of have to buy the console. I don't know if that's really a pro or a con or whatever. It's just, man, if I want to play like Forza 5, I've got to buy the console. If I want to play Halo Spartan Assault, I'm going to have to buy an Xbox One. Kid-friendly material. No, I know there's a lot of kid-friendly material on the PC, but I'm not sending my 8-year-old online to a PC to play games. I'm just not. Okay? Maybe in the future when he's a teenager or whatever, but right now having like a Wii or having like the PS4 with like NAC, that is what my kid is going to play. And he can do it in a multiplayer setting. Another benefit here where he can use a split screen. He can play with 3 of his buddies or whatever they're going to do. It's just a simpler option to set up for kids, you know, and for parents to make sure that kids are safe by not being directly online. Okay, so let's talk about the performance thing because clearly the PC is better here, but the console's optimized. You get the game, it comes in the mail or you go buy it at the store, whatever, and the game will play on your console. That's not something you could say about the PC. That being said, the PC, you can always optimize it. You put it at 1920 by 1080p, you put it on maybe medium settings, then something like the R7 265 is going to play any of the games that the console will. It's just not going to have that same plug-and-play optimization level that the console does. So you know what? People that aren't techie, that don't really want to mess around with settings or computers or things like that, they like the fact that they can go to a console and they can just put the game in and it works. Another really nice thing on the competitive side for consoles is it seems like everybody's more on the same playing field. Now, certainly there's options that you can set on your console, things like that, but everybody's pretty much going to be using the same controller and everybody's going to pretty much have the same performance. On the PC, we've got, you know, different gaming mice, we've got our computers all perform at different levels. There's tricks, you know, like playing in 720p, lower resolution settings on some games. So the fact that a console can come in and have everybody play on the same playing field kind of is a pretty big benefit for those who want to do competitive play. Okay, so now let's talk about the PC benefit. PC, your games last a lifetime. You're playing console games from one generation to the other. They're not even compatible some of the time now. This is not true with like the Wii to the Wii U. I think the Wii U, you can, yeah, we do this sometimes. You can bring up the Wii interface and play that way. But you know, it doesn't work that way with like the 360 and the Xbox One. It doesn't work that way with the PS3 and PS4. So the good thing about the PC games, you got them on your Steam account. You don't even have to have them installed on your system, and you can bring them up, download them, install them whenever you want to. Higher resolutions and frame rates. Consoles are now playing at 1080p pretty regularly. Sometimes they're upscaling from 720p, whatever. But on PC, we're looking at not only playing at 1080p, we're looking at playing at 1440p and 4K eventually. And not only that, while consoles are playing at 30 or 60 frames fixed, we're going beyond that and playing at 120 plus frames. Now, if you're going to be using G-Sync, things like that, that's when you really start to notice that, the benefit that comes from things like that. But clearly, the PC allows you to play at a higher performance level. Okay, so in general, you'll find that the price that you pay for PC games It's just cheaper in general than you pay for like a console game. Now that being said, to be fair, in all honesty, if you've got a AAA title and you're trying to purchase it on the PC or a console, it seems pretty close. But you know what? There's a lot of there's way more free games available on PC, and that brings me to my next point. PC exclusive games like MOBAs and MMORPGs, if that's your genre, then there's not really even a choice here because the games that you want to play are only going to be on PC. So that's another benefit to the PC. And lastly, the last one I'll bring up, I'm sure there's a ton more options in this, that we can't fit into this video, is free online gameplay. PC, we've already got the internet connection. It hooks right in, and we can play. Now on the Xbox One or the PS4, you're going to have to pay like $5 a month for that. If you have the console for like 5 years, that's like $300. So where people talk about, hey, you don't include the OS price in your PC build. Well, I'm also not including the, $60 a year premium that you guys are going to have to pay if you want to play console online. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the build. Did you like the build better than the console or vice versa or what? Go in the description. You can find there a link to a write-up. What's a write-up? It's where I take all the information for each video I do and I write it up because I am first a blogger and second a video YouTuber, vlogger, maker guy. So anyway, that part is actually a bigger part of what I do than my actual videos. So be sure you go there. That helps me out a lot. Also, if you have a question, you can write me at facebook.com/top10gamer. Go and like me there. And we can talk back and forth. I try to post things. I am available again there. I know I took a few weeks off, but that was just one of those things that had to happen. So, but I am again available there for your questions. Also, I've had a lot of you ask me if I would be willing to build a computer for you. I think that's something that we will try to do going forward. I've got a mini build that I'm working on that I promised you guys a couple months ago, but I just haven't had the time or the energy to do that particular build, but now I'm finishing it up, so hopefully we'll do a video shortly. We've got a few PC build videos coming up this next week, and in addition, some For the Money videos. Hopefully you guys are excited about that. If you do, like and subscribe to this video, and we'll see you next time.